What's up, what's up? How you going, boys and girls? Philip, Euro Zazaz, or Zaza, Euro Zaza. How you doing? Let's get it, Rick. Yeah, let's get it. So, a little bit of a shake-up again, huh? We've been all over the place lately. Volatility is picking up, no doubt, right? I'm gonna let a few more people rock up before I get started. Just earlier I was doing measures on the weekends that we've been having. So 1,032, 1,079, 1,082, 844. This weekend, or the weekend we just had before, prior, was like 490, so quite a flat weekend. Are we going to get the same this weekend? We're about to start the new weekend, right? In about half an hour, the Saturday candle begins and the weekend is underway. So do we go flat? Do we quieten down for the next couple of days? And I think there's a public holiday for the US on Monday. So it's almost like a 3-day weekend, really. It's a long weekend. Yeah, we'll see what we get. But here we are. We're just down on the hour chart at the moment. Just to recap, we formed a rising wedge. We broke down out of it. Pretty textbook breakdown. But lo and behold, we were forming a falling wedge at the same time while we fell down, right? And then we broke out right here to the upside, which is really cool. So that means we're dealing with potentially a new pattern forming. Obviously there's no pattern here, it's just a parabolic move just off the back here going up. And we've basically capped the previous high, so the August high from last year. We've come up and tested that, got above it, and it was a swing failure high, right? So that means like it came up and pushed just above, just enough above the previous high to where it would have trapped a whole bunch of people, right? Before correcting down to retest 23.5K and some. You know, there's a wick below there. So pretty heavy move back down off that high. Let's see what that is. Almost $2,000 move within a matter of only hours. Like, how many hours is that? 8 hours. So pretty decent move. 8 hours for a $2,000 move almost. And now we're sort of like back up in the neighborhood again. We've popped up. We've actually come up and tested above 25K again there with a wick. With a pretty hefty correction too. Following that, almost a $1,000 move backward to retest 24. 24 held so far. And now we're pretty much like drifting in the middle of 24 and 25 here. So we're currently trading at 24,600 odd. So as we lead into the weekend, it's only a matter of minutes away now, the end of this Friday candle. So let's see what we get, hey? It's the really cool thing is that it's volatile. That's the best thing about it. This business here of doing that, then that, then that, and even this is cool. Retest, right? And now we're all the way back up here again. Doing things like that is so much better than doing things like this and this. Small candles. We're getting nice tall candles. Whether they're red or green, it doesn't matter. But the volatility is what we want to see for trading, right? And even for the investors in Bitcoin, this is all great. Like, you know, we're maintaining levels, price levels above 23 now. Like we've come and back tested 23 and a half, found support, rallied back up to test 25. So this is all good news, right? You know, maybe this weekend does see a range $1,000 or beyond, for, you know, like how I was talking about the ranges of each weekend. We had a pretty boring weekend last weekend, right? And even leading into it was boring as hell. Like Friday was crap. Like there was just not really that much volatility. The weekend was kind of sluggish. Monday, Tuesday, typical sluggish. We had, I believe this was CPI right here, this volatility. But then, you know, after CPI, it relaxed back into like a flat kind of period as well. And then all of a sudden, boom, here we are. We've exploded out of the gates and made a new high for the year. So that is great to see. Now, what are we dealing with pattern-wise right now? We could be dealing with some kind of pennant formation. Early to call it, but there is a trend line that I can see. And that starts here, and it comes across here to meet that other wick. So let's keep with the theme, with the resistance being a blue line and then the support being a white line. So something like this. Now this hasn't really been defined yet, the bottom side, but as it stands right now, like at this point in time, it's something like that, right? So if price was to come down and correct down further and maybe pivot like here or something and then climb again, that would obviously change this line to be something more like that, which sort of like lines up more with a triangle or a, you know, symmetric triangle / pennant formation. But it's early to call, so that's why I'm not totally solid on the bottom side yet, but that's what we're dealing with right now, something like that. So let's see what we get. Now, as we know, textbook, when price moves up, as it has, and consolidates in some fashion, that is a bullish consolidation, because it's this part that defines the move, right? That defines the trend. So the expected textbook move would be to break out to the upside. But you know, Bitcoin is full of surprises, as we all know. So we could get, you know, a flush back down to fake everyone out and then push up after the fact. That happens a lot, you know, out of consolidation patterns. And that's to where it could look more like a flag, perhaps. So this could end up doing more something like that, right? To where you get some kind of like zigzag flag structure. But yeah, like I said, it's early. It's early to call the bottom side of this pattern. But for now, it is here. And this is how it exists at this point in time. Until proven otherwise, is what I should say. All right, so that's Bitcoin on the 1 hour. Let's check some other indicators and oscillators and things like that. I'm gonna put these into recent TA. I'm gonna hide the recent TA folder. Let's turn off. Actually, let's keep the levels up. We'll keep the price levels and the key levels up. And I'm going to turn on the moving averages. So in here, the 50s and the 200s. We'll go out to the daily. Let's get rid of the EMAs, just hide them. We're dealing with the big old 50 and 200. Let's go to the daily chart. Obviously, we have our golden cross. That hasn't changed yet. The trajectory of the 50 daily is still very strong and going up, as you can see. All year, it's been great so far. Daily candle, our Friday candle, beautiful, bullish engulfing so far. We got 21 minutes left. Can we maintain a bullish engulfing candle? The one thing that's concerning is the top side of this wick is very long. So that shows, or that denotes a lot of sell pressure. So yes, we pushed up, made a new high, but you know, we gave it all back almost. Like we came right back down. So, but look, the green candles are overpowering the red candles as it stands. You know, the only severe red candle that we've had is this one here, Thursday last week, the 9th of February. That's the most severe daily kind of damage that we've seen. This one's pretty decent as well. And then also yesterday's was pretty decent. So those three are the only real standout selling candles for this year. You know, this little period here, this correction was healthy. But then this started to get, this got the bears excited, no doubt. That big candle there. But look, you know, waking up to this and then seeing this morning, beautiful, awesome. It's on trend, right? We are still in a bull trend. Playing with semantics now, like whether you want to call it a bull market or not, that's up to you. But look, no doubt bull trend. The trend is your friend. Trade to the trend. Look for long opportunities in an uptrend, just as you look for short opportunities in a downtrend. Obviously, you can play both sides. One has more risk than the other. And obviously, every play has risk inherent. So, sorry, I just had to slam my door closed. So, yeah, pretty much what we're looking at now, the hurdle that's in front of us is $25,000, hence the thumbnail for this stream. You know, we're knocking on the door of 25K, seeing if we can get in. You know, we've had a couple of brief flings above it, but yeah, nothing convincing just yet to call 25K support, obviously. A bit more work to do there. Let's go back to the daily chart again. I want to zoom out and see, you know, this is our playground right now. Since June, you know, we've been dealing with this structure. This is where I'm going to hide the levels because I just want to focus on the candles. Okay. So there's June, there's the sell-off. And here is our range. Okay, what are we calling the top? Let's just call this August high the top, and let's call the 2022 low the bottom of the range, like that. And then we drag it to encompass all of the price action thus far. And that's what we're dealing with. We're in a big old rectangle. Majority of price action lives inside here, like that. That's where majority of price action exists. FTX was an amazing opportunity. This little zone down here, that little basin, that is like the basement of this rectangle, you know? If anyone bought that basement, congratulations, you did really well, because it was a very scary and fearful time and very, very hard to see any kind of optimism after FTX collapsing. I was one of those people that did not take full advantage of this basement. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. You know, it's so easy to see that now. But at the time, it looked like this at the time, right? It looked like that. It looked bleak. We've been falling all year. It was very bold to think that we were gonna rocket just out of the blue, like off the back of, you know, that. You see that structure, and it's hard to say, you know, what tells you that this is turning around? Nothing. There's nothing here suggesting that this is ready to rocket, but rocket it did, and here we are. So yeah, it's nothing to blame. Like, you know, if you missed it, you buy the pullback. We've had a pullback, And look, a lot of people seemingly lined up to buy it, and we've made a new high. So we're well above our previous high. We've had daily closes above that level. That's the previous high, right? So we're looking good. This is still bullish. This bull trend ain't over yet. Until until we get the evidence that it is over. So until proven otherwise, we are in an uptrend still. And the cool thing about Bitcoin is when it moves first. The alts move after the fact. What the alts love to do is wait for Bitcoin to finish its upthrust, and then when Bitcoin relaxes into a consolidation or whatever, that's when your altcoins come out to play. When Bitcoin's chopping sideways like that. The altcoins love stability in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin pulls back a little, some of that liquidity is going to flow out of Bitcoin into the altcoins. And it's, the cycle repeats. So I don't doubt that we're going to see some really nice altcoin action this weekend, no doubt. There's going to be some crazy outliers. Those double figure days where things are going up 30%. You know what I mean? So I think that's quite possible this weekend. It's a long weekend, remember. So a lot of people home, a lot of people, looking for things to do. Why not trade? So let's look at the alt list. I don't do a lot of that lately because, Bitcoin is always the focus, as it should be. It's the dominant coin. And then just look, DXY, huge correction here, relatively speaking. I mean, it's still in an uptrend, but overall, like the macro picture started to look scary here because of that push. It has not beaten this high. We want to see this continue to pull back here and get back on track with the correction. But yeah, DXY breaking out of this trend line here, like right there, wasn't a great sign. But we'll see how that pans out over the coming couple of weeks. So that's the DXY. The SPY, so the S&P 500, as you know, I've been tracking this inverse head and shoulders. This week was kind of choppy, like it's just been maintaining a range, if not slightly down. So like something like this. And yeah, this week, no major developments this week. But a pretty healthy range though, a very tradable range, right? That's nice and volatile there. It's got some nice moves, down, up. This move down was really nice. Early next week, so Tuesday next week, are we going to get a retest of the top of this this seeming flag that we have going on? So that's to come for the S&P 500. I don't doubt that the Nasdaq and the Dow look probably similar. Well, not too dissimilar to this. So we'll see what we get with that. Let me draw a pattern on that, just so that we've got it and we're looking at it for the coming streams. I'll get a parallel going. How about that? Something like that. Just going to truncate it a bit, like, okay, and we'll just extend it out to like there. And that way we can keep an eye on it. Cool. So we've got some kind of bull flag happening, hopefully. We'll save that and we'll go back to crypto. Now, I said I was going to talk about alts. Wow, this is a mess. Let's get rid of all these brush strokes here. Bear with me. Brush. Okay. Oh, that's right. That was all the measuring of the weekend ranges. I'm happy to get rid of all that. I don't need it. Okay. Bitcoin. So let's go back to the alts. Where's my really long alt list? the Bybit list. Look, what did I say? It's happening already, obviously. Filecoin, Acro, Clay, YGG, ICP, Insane Clown Posse, or Internet Computer Protocol, whatever the fuck that is. BLZ, Flow. Look, double digits in these alts. Things are moving. Really nice. I mean, even these are really cool. Seeing things above 5% for the day. That's awesome performance. Like, if you're trading leverage, then damn. That's going to give you some nice returns. I don't doubt that this kind of behavior is going to carry on into the Saturday candle. We'll see how we go. Look at Matic, says Euro. All right, let me have a look at Matic. The last time we were looking at it was like, the last time I was paying attention to it was like in the $20s kind of area. And look, we're punching $1.50, $1.55 now. That's really cool. Very nice. Back to, what do I want? Crypto down under scalping. So this gives you a couple of RSI indicators. So we've got a stochastic and a RSI divergence indicator. Be careful on this move. This is not the time to buy, by the way. Be careful. What you want to see, like, you know, when things get all exciting and parabolic like that, you need this to get in. You need a pullback. You need some, you know, healthy retracement or consolidation to enter along. You know, honestly, like, looking at the alts that have ripped real hard into the weekend, I would be looking for shorts, to be honest. Yes, you're trading against the trend, but it's just the moment. It's like the timing of the move. You know, look how elevated we are out of the Bollinger Band on Matic here. I don't think it's crazy to suggest that this could see some kind of, you know, pullback to test some of these moving averages here. You know, we got the 200 here curling up. This is the daily chart for Matic. But yeah, just be careful with your expectations. Some things have already ripped, and you know, you're basically, you're chasing crumbs if you're not in it already. So yeah, just be warned with that. Obviously not financial advice. Do as you please. You know, I can be just as wrong as the next person. So that's the thing with crypto and analysis. Any analyst that exists, whether it's professional, crypto enthusiast, you know, YouTuber like me, or anyone in a Discord channel, no one really knows, guys. Like, no one has the answers. No one has the exact 1 + 1 = 2 answer to anything in the markets. It's all speculative. And as we know, crypto, more so than any market, is full of surprises. So people get surprised all the time. People get it wrong a lot. So once you get comfortable with that reality, that's where you can, you know, you got to deal with facts, right? So that is a fact. Not everyone gets it right. A lot of people get it wrong. Be careful with who you follow. Be careful with your expectations. And just learn risk management. You know, protect what you do have and look for opportunities. You know, you sort of just have to keep it real all the time. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we know that the stock market is very data driven. So when we get, you know, CPI data, funds rate data, you know, jobs data, you know, GDP, all that stuff, all of those reports are very pivotal and catalyzing for sentiment at the moment, especially at the moment, with the fact that we're coming off the back of a bear market. You know, we may not have seen the bottom yet. Got to keep that in mind too, right? Yeah, so I guess the more open you can keep your opinions, Like the more open your mind and the more flexible you are to possibility, the better it will serve you. It's when you start getting fixed in a bias that, that's where it can do damage, because your ego wants to be right, And even when it gets it wrong, that's when you come out with the, oh, it's manipulated, the market's wrong, I'm right kind of attitude. Like, oh, this is just a false pump. This is manipulated. This isn't supposed to happen. It's happening. So whether it's manipulated or not, just you want to be playing with the trend. You don't want to be playing against the trend. So just be careful with, the whole ego thing and being right and wrong, All right. So that's Matic. Matic, wow, what a move. The past 4 days have been awesome. Fantastic week there. Let's look at some other random things. Something that I've been mucking around with is Bonk. At the moment, it's actually lower volatility than it's had. Like if you look, let's go full screen here. You can see I've got alerts set up all over the place. But this thing reminds me of Shiba Inu. When that first hit the market, it dumped. It went on what I like to call support discovery. So it tries to find the floor. That's the first thing it needs to do. It needs to figure out where the ground is before it can move up. So to me, that's what Bonk is doing. Bonk is, obviously it's a pure shitcoin, right? Bonk has no real world, like groundbreaking use case, I don't think. It's just a meme. It's trying to do the DOGE thing. It's trying to ride on the coattails, just like Shiba rode on the coattails of DOGE when DOGE was hot. But anyway, yeah, support discovery. I'm going to open up a Shiba chart to show you what I mean. Let's open up a Shiba Inu chart. Where have I got it? Maybe top 20? No, because it's not a top 20. Shib. Yeah, I've got it in this list, that's right. Okay, Shiba. I don't know that this chart has the full history. Let me go to Binance. Go to the S's. Shib, there it is. Cool. All right, let's hide the indicators. Go full screen. Go out to the daily and zoom the hell out because we want to see the history. All right, here we go. It gets listed to Binance. It goes down dramatic, as all the seed investors sell out and take profit. And then it basically goes on support hunt. It's fine. It's trying to establish support. And look, people did find support. Shiba gained some kind of ground. Like this was the lowest price since the listing on Binance, right? But you can see like a trend here. Okay, look. A real decent floor here seems to be, the 600 Shiba Toshis, for lack of a better term, right? It's like Satoshis, but for Shiba, because it's using the 8 zeros after the decimal. So yeah, 600 seemed to be some kind of like constant, price kept revisiting, revisit here, and then a whole bunch of support here, revisiting tweezer. Obviously there's wicks that go through that for extreme moves, but for the most part, yeah, candle closes pretty much existed above 558, so 580 Shiba Toshis. And then yeah, once that support got established, then bam, like there was this explosive move that happened, obviously after weeks on end, like months on end of just chopping sideways with nothing happening. This is the kind of thing that can happen to these shitcoins, right? You get these explosive pumps. And where are we today? We're still, it's still relatively flat compared to where it's been in the past. So when you're talking potential, yeah, I don't doubt that Shiba's going to have another crazy rally at some point in the future. It's just a meme. It's a meme coin, and the community behind it, you can see it has been building since late December, early January. It's been building up like a lot of the alts have, but it pales in comparison to what happened in 2021 in the bull market. This is where you get rich. These are the moves that are freaking insane, like 1,000% in a matter of maybe 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. Yeah, crazy. This will happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen to Shiba again, but it might. But there's going to be altcoins that do crazy things, and when you put leverage on that, like, damn, hold on to your seats, kind of thing. But yeah, are we in a bull market? Not yet. Is it looking good? Yeah, it's looking good, but it could just be a recovery spike that we're in with at the moment with Bitcoin and crypto. We don't really know. A point I was making not so long ago was that Bitcoin has been breaking records lately. We've had a weekly death cross on Bitcoin. That's never happened before. This is the first time in history. Last bull market, we had a double top as our high for the all-time high. That's never happened before. That's a record. We had a death cross between the highs here. So these are the highs of the recent bull market, right? We had a death cross here, back into a golden cross here in a very short space of time. That's never happened before. So this is all record-breaking stuff for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's never done these behaviors before. You know what other behavior Bitcoin's never done before? And that is gunned for an all-time high before a halving. So if we come up and retest or gun for our current all-time high before the halving of next year, whatever time that's going to be, that's never happened before. Has Bitcoin been doing things that haven't happened before? Yes, it has. So that's what's like, I'm trying to keep an open mind to crazy things because Bitcoin does crazy things. Am I expecting it? No, definitely not expecting it. There's a very distinct definition between possibility and probability that you have to be very comfortable and aware of and know it very well, right? I don't think it's a good idea trading possibilities. It's better to trade probabilities, and you want to spend your time looking for probability. That's where you want to put your effort and focus into probability. Leave the possibility for the for the people that aren't going to make money. The thing is, though, people that play with probability can still make money when possibilities happen. Because if you've got risk management in play and you catch a trend and you've got your eyes on the market every day, you'll be there to catch it. You might be late, but to a move, but at least you can identify it and get with the program as quickly as you can before it's too late. But yeah, Shiba. So yeah, Shiba doing that, just to tie this back to what I was talking about before. Shiba, support discovery. That's what I kind of feel like Bonk is doing at the moment. It's coming down off its listing, just like Shiba did. So Bonk got listed, dumped. Shiba got listed, dumped. So there's Bonk, there's Shiba. Let's go down to the daily. So yeah, you can see Bonk is still in its infancy for a shitcoin. And it's just, yeah, we're just trying to figure out, have we found the floor yet on it? I switch between the two, I'm trying to get like draw comparisons here. You know what? I'm gonna split the screen so we can look at it at the same time. So we got Bonk, and let's get SHIB on the bottom. Now obviously I'm going to be pulling this across to match up the listings. Something like that. Can you see like the kind of similarity there? So yeah, I don't know. Let's see what we get. I'm not trying to convince anyone for Bonk, because Bonk could just stay on the floor forever. We don't know. The thing is though, it's a low cap. I'm pretty sure Bonk doesn't have a lot of market cap. Let me check that. Let's have a look. There's Bonk. It's market cap, market capitalization. It's not even $100 million yet. It's not even 50 million. That's how much of a shitcoin it is, you know? If you can fathom the amount of money that is, then it's not impressive. It's ranked 2,635 on the list. So to me that screams, okay, there's some potential for pumping right there. When you're talking shitcoinomics, you know, you just have to look at the market cap and say, look, can random shitcoins get pumped, you know, a few more $1 million into their market cap? And yeah, they sure can, and they do, and history's proven that. So yeah, we'll see. And remember, Bonk is like a Solana driven crypto as well, so if Solana recovers, then I reckon Bonk's gonna get some action. But we will see. By no means am I trying to get anyone to buy it. I'm not shilling it. I'm just trying to show you how you can view shitcoins. Like what kind of lens do you look at a shitcoin through? And it's like that. You look at its market cap, you look for previous pumps that it may have had, and you see how it likes to behave in a bull market, you know? Because I mean, why not make easy money if it's there to be made, right? Static, $1.99. Can I get TA on Matic? Yeah, man, for sure. All right, let's go single screen. Let's dig out Matic, and thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. So this chart has a lot of history to it, which is cool. We've got the daily close, by the way. Just gonna do a little sneak peek on Bitcoin while as we've closed. Yes, we closed bullish engulfing. Excellent. Today's already off to a bit of green. Very cool. 7 minutes in. Matic. Let me go daily log scale. Yeah, it's holding ground, isn't it? Like its bear market wasn't even that savage. Don't mind me while I do a bit of macro first before we go micro. I just want to see from all-time high to 2022 low. Okay, that's pretty healthy. Almost a 90% correction. Awesome opportunity to get back in. But look, it pulled its low in June, yeah? What did the FTX disaster do to Matic? And not a hell of a lot. It pulled it back to, you know, a low here. Nowhere near the June low. How healthy is that? That's really optimistic. I have very high expectations. I think Matic is going to do really well in the next bull cycle. That's just me. not financial advice, but I think Matic will be a hot favorite, and it is a hot favorite. It's people are pretty positive on Matic. It's got some pretty serious partnerships out there, and it's actually ripping. This week has been pretty cool. 24% up, 25% up. Yesterday did really well, 11% up. Yeah, look, uptrend, no doubt about it. Just like a lot of coins at the moment, you know, higher lows, higher highs, and until that slows down, that's what you got. You got an uptrend. If you're talking micro, let's go down to like the hour chart. This is crazy. This is really nice move, but it seems to be constant, which is awesome. So you've got like, you know, it's like staircasing, right? Like kind of what Bitcoin did in January. Like it's laddering its way up. As long as you maintain that behavior where you're getting higher lows, higher highs, I would follow it with a trend line, of course. Like any move that does this, where it's doing a staircase, you want to keep your eye on this. You know, the overall, however you want to draw it out, you mainly want to capture as many touches by price as you can manage without chopping too much of the action off. But yeah, you want to be looking at something like that, and you know, be very careful of holding something that breaks one of these kind of trend lines, because when you break that, it changes the game a bit. You know, if you were to start doing that there's the break of the trend, and that's where you start getting your, you know, corrective lower highs, lower lows kind of thing until it settles back down. So on the short term, check that out, you know. Oscillator wise, I'm liking the RSIs lately, and the 200 moving average, the 200 exponential moving average, mind you, with the Bollinger Bands turned on. Because the way I've been playing that for scalps is when price is above the 200, no matter what time frame you're looking at, like let's say you're scalping the 5 minute for Matic. Okay, so the first check, like the most primary and first feature you're looking for is price action. Is price trending above the 200? So yes. Okay, checkbox number 1, check. Now is price pulling to the bottom of the Bollinger Band and then rallying back up? Those are the points that you're looking to enter. You want maybe a wick or a candle to come below the band, just like here, and then you want to see evidence of it coming back up into the band, and that's where you go long, right? When it's starting to show strength or bouncing, you get long, right? And you set your stop below the previous wick, you know, and then, you know, that's the sort of safest way to get in, is like when you're trading to trend, you're looking for longs in a bull trend, and you're buying a pullback. See, look, pullback. This would have been a nice entry, but it didn't quite get to the band. So, I'm not saying you have to only take positions that leave the band, but if you see evidence of support and it's looking good, and you want to get in early and just set a stop below the previous candle low or wick low, then go for it. You know, why not? Roll the dice. At least you're not buying tops. Like I would not be buying up here. That's ridiculous. You never buy a FOMO position, guys, in trading. You can bank on that. Yes, you might capture another parabolic candle, but if you keep that behavior up, you're going to get burned. You're going to be a bag holder, I promise. And that's trading advice. I'm happy to call that advice. I know, not financial advice. You always make the financial decisions, but trading advice. Don't buy things when they're elevated like this. They're very elevated. You want to, if you can help it, wait for these moments where things start to look scary, but we're still very healthy above the 200, yeah? Those are the times where you're like, okay, I've found evidence. Look at the wicks here. I've found evidence of buying. People are buying this level, whatever this level is. You know, had 15 minutes to see that. Like, look at the candle. Look at the tweezer bottom there. That's evidence of support. And then, you know, getting activity that goes up like this beyond the high of the previous candle is what you look for. And then, you know, let's say you saw that, you identified that. Okay, it's looking good. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to set a stop, you know, below here because I don't want to be in it if it starts to crash, right? So you want to get out. But yeah, that's the risk you take. The money you put forward to take these potential opportunities is what you pay. It's the price you pay. If you get stopped out, that was the price of taking a chance, right? But yeah, that's the best you can do with trading is like, you know, you have your stop loss, your risk management in play, and you're just trying to find these opportunities as best you can with the indicators telling you that things are looking good for another move, you know? You know, the more oversold you can get your RSIs, the better. Stochastic is really cool because if you see it bottomed out like this and you're above the 200 EMA and then you start to see a cross and it's curling back up in, you're like, oh damn, this is good. We're turning a corner here. We're continuing the trend. You know, let's get in, let's get on board, let's capture some of that move. And yeah, that's how I look at it. And so this is the 5-minute chart. You can take this down to the 1 minute as well. So really nice corrective move coming up here. Is it gonna, see how it's like supporting at the moment on the orange line? Obviously this can break and come down, but moments like that can be small opportunities. Like if you want to like risk it, you know. But look, the best ones are toward the bottom of the band, obviously. Like if you can catch any kind of wick or candle close and there's evidence of support, those are really good little entries, you know, along the way. Warning signs of corrections are when you get bearish divergence, obviously. But, you know, this was a time corrected bearish divergence, not a price corrected. So that could be happening right now because we had bearish divergence here. And we haven't really price corrected it. It's starting to maybe price correct. But yeah, for all, just to give you an example of time correction would look something like this, like where it starts to consolidate sideways to reset the oscillator. Whereas a price correction is when you get a proper, like, you know, dump, like it corrects heavy to reset the oscillator, you know? But look at that support. Look at that. We're getting a bullish engulfing candle on the 1 minute. This is, you know, it's early to say, but this is the kind of thing you look for, the evidence of strength. If you start getting bullish engulfing candles like that, you know, we had one here. Look at that one. Seemingly in the middle of nowhere, you know, from a Bollinger Band context, that is in the middle of nowhere, right? Because it's not overbought or oversold. It's just in the middle of the band. No man's land. But you had a bullish engulfing. And that saw the back of another nice candle. Just like we've got now, we've got a bullish engulfing on the 1 minute. But obviously they're not guarantees, so be careful with that. But, you know, look, here we go, you know. If you're playing something in the middle of nowhere, you have to keep it real. You want to have your stop loss and respect the stop loss, guys. Do not move it. Do not delete it. Keep your stop losses when you take risky positions. Trading in no man's land is risky. But look, trend is looking healthy. Watch list is pretty much starting to be green, so that's cool. We'll see what we get. This could just be a lower high on the small time frame. Keep your expectations in check at all times. That's all I'm saying. And respect the stop loss. Respect it. It will save you. And if you're trading and you're getting stopped out continually, there's something wrong with your approach. You're not trading properly. There's something wrong with your setups. You're probably rushing it, and you're not being patient for the really good entries. That's, you have to assess. You have to stop and reassess. If you get like, say, 3 stops in a row, something's wrong. Something's off with your analysis. I don't know. Just slow down, because you don't want to bleed your account out by stopping continually. I've been there. It's not fun. But yeah, stopping out tight and then letting the winners ride is easier said than done. But that's what if you can manage to do that, then you should be profitable, right? Let the big moves happen and let the small moves stop out. When you're wrong and you stop out, you did a good thing. So give yourself a pat on the back if you stop out because you were wrong, because that is what you want to do. You want to stop out when you're wrong. If you hold something and your ego won't let it stop, or you take it stop out, I've done that. I've been there, done that. I mean, look at my trade from last year. It was horrible. My Bitcoin thing that turned into like a big swing investment trade. Mistake, right? Mistakes happen. Learn from them and move on, but don't repeat them, right? Try your best not to repeat mistakes. But yeah, definitely you want to pay attention to your mistakes, because if you ignore them, you're bound to repeat them. Like if you don't respect, where you went wrong, and you try to carry on, pretend like it didn't happen, yeah, it's gonna bite you in the ass again. But yeah, okay, going back to the hourly on Matic, it's bullish, no doubt. I mean, RSI, there's divergence. It's looking divergent, so be careful expecting any further move yet. Look, here's a high, right, on the RSI. That's the highest point on RSI recently on the hour chart. Price has climbed, but RSI hasn't. So price has climbed, RSI peak, divergent, bearish divergent. So be careful. But yeah, yeah, look, that's Matic. That's the best I can do at the moment. Targets, zoom out and look left for resistances. We've got above that structure, which is cool. What are we dealing with? There's a pivot there. Basically, you just want to go pivot hunting, What pivots am I dealing with? We have to go on the daily to check this. So yeah, just the major pivots is what I'd be looking for. There's one there, the all-time high. But yeah, it's cutting ground. It hasn't been up this high since April last year. That's a long time. Almost a year. It's turned a corner, guys, Matic. And it's starting to get interesting for Matic. So a pretty hefty resistance, though, is not too far away. So maybe you could expect some turbulence once you get up, if you get up to $1.75. So just be careful of $1.75. That's a level, an SR level. And then yeah, just look at whatever these peaks are to the left of how it behaves in 2022, and the end of 2021 is the all-time high. Cool. But yeah, to give you figures, obviously all-time high being $2.93, $2.92. This level, $2.45. This level is $2.10. This peak here is below $2, I think. Yeah, the $1.75. So yeah, those are my four major pivots that are in front of us for Matic. Everything else is like, you know, just part of a trend. Like every other, like this high here is part of a trend. That's part of a trend. That, you know what I mean? So I don't pay as much, I don't give as much weight to those pivots as these ones. These to me are the standouts because they've pivoted off, you know, days building into it and then days building after it. Whereas these ones are just like, you know, a day or two up, a day up, you know, they're not as significant. They're still there, but they're not as significant. So that's how I basically get it. Now, Fibonacci speaking, by the way, what I'm doing with Matic here, the way I'm analyzing it, just apply this analysis to whatever you're looking at. Like if you want to look at, you know, shitcoin.com, like your coin, then same thing, same procedure. You're just looking left at the major pivoting that it's been through, and those are your checkpoints and levels to be careful of, right? All right, this is another cool way to see levels is the fibs. So on a retracement, if we're trying to get back to all-time high, that's a one-to-one move back to the all-time high. We were battling with the 382. You can see a very definite, almost dollar accurate test right there. You saw some turbulence here at the 382. We've broken above the 382. Now we're gunning for the 0.5, which is at $1.61, almost $1.62. So that's another level to be cautious of. You know, expecting this run to punch through $1.62 is kind of brazen. Like you want to be careful with that, with the expectations there. So yeah, I think there's going to be a point of consolidation coming up for Matic soon, if not some kind of like smaller corrective move. So be careful. Maybe an opportunity to get long, you know, off the back of that. Now remember, a lot of things you want to tie it back to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is, you know, the sentiment setter for the market, for the crypto market. So if Bitcoin's crashing, you know, you got to be careful with your expectations of an altcoin going to new highs, right? I doubt that it can do that. I mean, unless it's like off the back of some fundamental news, like, oh, you know, Bill Gates loves Matic or some shit, you know, like then it's gonna rip. But yeah, if all is quiet on the fundamental front and Bitcoin's crashing, your altcoin's gonna follow it. I pretty much almost guarantee it. So but yeah, all things remaining quiet and no, you know, no major drawdowns from Bitcoin, Matic should continue to rally here. So all's good so far. So yeah, that'd be the first, well, the very next fib level to deal with, $1.61.9, so basically $1.62, and then we're looking at $1.92 is the 618 fib level. So that's a big level, Fibonacci speaking, right? Golden fib, then you've got the 786 at $2.36. And then obviously the one-to-one retracement back to all-time high, $2.92. Now, like, I don't bother looking toward these targets. I prefer to look at what's in front of me, like immediately. So immediately you're dealing with this, you know? And then you just see how it behaves. Like if it gets rejected off there and starts making lower lows, lower highs, you know, okay, you know, I should maybe consider taking some profit here, like some, you know what I mean? Just as an example. Before I'm expecting, you know, a test of 786, you know what I mean? You don't want to get ahead of yourself. Play it bit by bit. If you're an investor, like if you're swing trading Matic, and you plan on holding it after the halving or something, you know what I mean, for like 12 months, then you don't need TA for that. You're an investor. You're just hanging out for the bull market, you know. So don't touch it. You know, if it dips, buy more. If it rips up, awesome. That's the beauty of investing, is that you don't have to muck around and fiddle around with technical analysis so much. Like, you just look at the big picture, and usually the big picture is pretty clear, you know. You look for market rhythm, like just the flow of the cycle. Like what cycle are we in? It seems as though we're coming off a recovery of a bear market. So that's the way I see it. Wow, Manny. Thanks, my dude. 125. I think they're called, are they pesos? Or it's the Philippine money. But dude, appreciate that. And I will keep it up. I will try to keep it up. But yeah, bless you. Thank you. All right, so let's go back, have a look at Bitcoin again, because I think it's doing things. I'm going to turn my lines back on. Let's get rid of these brush strokes. They keep showing up for some reason. Recent TA price levels and key levels. Let's go down to like the 15-minute chart. What do we got? What do we got? Okay. We're mucking around with 25K still. We're not back there yet, but we've just had a golden cross on the 15-minute chart. So that's cool. There's, you know, look, there's an example of a death cross going back to a golden cross, because the trend, the price went up, you know? See how death crosses don't spell the end of the world. You know, there's an example right there. Yes, it's a different time frame, but this is an example of how things, you know, can be misleading. Like if you follow the death cross, golden cross too close, and you try to make big, expensive decisions based off that, then you're gonna, you know, it's not the best. It's only a piece of the puzzle. It's a small piece of the puzzle, if you ask me. It's kind of reporting on what happened. See how this happened on Bitcoin, how we slid down? This is the news, this is mainstream media reporting on it after the fact. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Golden cross here, awesome. Yeah, we know we've been rallying, you know. That's why death cross, golden cross to me is just like it's just like a meme kind of thing to me. I don't hold too much weight in it. But it's popular though for some reason. People love to talk about the death cross and the golden cross, so I'll mention it, but I don't think it's everything. Let me catch up on some of the chat here. Sorry, I've been kind of like neglecting you guys in YouTube land here. We've got 26 people tuned in. What's up, guys? Smash up the like button. Get that algorithm working. And if you're brand new, if you've never heard my voice before and you like the channel and you like, you know, technical analysis from a complete noob, just kidding. If you like live technical analysis, you know, while things are happening, and you're sick of just seeing videos that are 3 hours late, you know, like, you know, the reporting after the fact, and they don't help you, right? Then subscribe to the channel, because that's what this channel's all about. It's mainly about live streams. I think I've got one video that I've uploaded, and that was like an intro to TradingView video, something like that. I just feel crypto moves so fast that if you're putting out videos like, you know, uploaded half an hour later or even 15 minutes, that's old news, you know? Unless your analysis is like macro, like daily analysis or 4-hour chart or something like that, then yeah, that information's gonna get old pretty quick. So yeah, live streaming to me is the way. Seeing things happen in real time, so that it's the most current and useful information. Yeah, look, I think we're still knocking on the door here of 25k. We've set in a series of higher lows. So we got a low here, low, 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 and they're all higher than the previous. I've kind of excluded that one. That was a higher low. We broke structure here. We broke that that low. But look, we're back up. We're fighting. We're still fighting. We're looking at... I just shat all over the Death Cross and Golden Cross, but look, got a Golden Cross on the 15 minute. So yeah, looking cool for Bitcoin. Saturday candle. What I should do is get a good old rectangle happening like I like to do. So there's 10 o'clock. Make sure I want to grab the right tool first. Rectangle. There it is. So our range right now, obviously it's small. Like lives there. Something like that. Top, and then bring it back to 10 o'clock. There we go. Okay, so that's our range for the moment. Now the weekend ends for me Monday 10 a.m. The TradingView weekend, the UTC weekend. So Monday 10 a.m. there. So that's the length of the weekend. We know that. We can define that. It's the range of price that we're looking to define. Hopefully we get some action above 25. That would be nice. We'll see. We'll see. Doge's XR penis. Shiba, good for long-term hold. Absolutely. Got to get my bags back for Doge, Shiba, Elon. Yeah. Well, I wish all those Doge people and Shiba people the best, the very best of luck. All the best for getting any kind of bags back, because you guys have been in a very painful 12 months, 18 months. Anyway, let me read through some of these comments here. Doge Elon Mars has been running as well. Okay, Doge Elon Mars, another shitcoin. Philip Harper, 23 watching and only 3 likes. Yeah, come on. Now we're 22, so I like that. Thank you. Scott says, hey Rick, can you pull up Shiba? Yeah, I'll have a look at Shiba. FCon broke through a triple top on the daily. Seems primes to run. I've never heard of FCon, but that's cool. So what you're saying is YOLO all in. So Jack, for you, yes, always go all in. YOLO, Jack. Hello, Buddy Langford in the house. Gotta go clock in at 6. Holla, Rick. Thanks. No worries, Euro. Yeah, I will pull up Shiba, Scott. No worries. Shib does have a big community and getting bigger. Shiba has games and an Shiba search engine. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, the more the community grows, the better, I suppose. You know what I mean? That rhymed. What's up, MG? Bull market or nah, bro? It's looking better every day. I tell you what, every time we come up and test new highs, like that's cool. There's still a lot of disbelief out there. Have you noticed? If you've looked on other channels, a lot of people are calling this all bullshit. The market's wrong. They're not. A lot of disbelief out there still. Saw a Twitter post showing the Twitter coin leak. Oh, okay. Interesting. How's Carver and CSPR look? I don't know. I will look at those in a minute. The guy Cheddar who was buying Magic at all-time high, then went jail good times. I think it was. I don't know if it was Matic. Might have been Magic rather. I think it might have been Matic. Can you do some tier on sheep, please? I'm indecisive. Yep, sheep are good for long term. Hold, absolutely. Got to get my bags back. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, Matic. Yep. I didn't know Cheddar went to jail. Okay. You know me too well. I'm already all in, Jack. All right, cool. I'm up to speed with the comments. Sorry, guys. I'll try to be better at that. Shiba. Obviously, no. You know what? Comments will come through while I'm doing my whole deal, and then I'll address the comments after I'm burnt out. That's how we're gonna do shit. Shiba. Macro. Coming off support, right? Cool. Just like the rest of the market. Really nice start to the year. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Pretty insane like move here that we have since corrected off. And now it looks like we're trying to reclaim that move, doesn't it? I mean, that's the start. You know, and until proven otherwise, this is doing this. It's up. It's higher low, it's higher high, and it's higher low. And we're seeing if we can maintain this rhythm and get up and make a higher high here. That's how I see it. It's in a channel. If you get a linear regression, you'll see that it's, you know, it's pointing up. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Shiba on the 4-hour. Let's go down to the 1-hour with that in mind, that channel. Look, if Bitcoin remains, oh god, look at all these squiggles. If Bitcoin remains strong for the next 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, then yeah, you're gonna get Shiba likely to come up and revisit these highs at least, if not visit the top of the range here, you know, moving forward. So, and then if you get real lucky, you get a breakout to test these highs, these pivots, you know, which continues the overall 2023 uptrend, right? Bull trend. We're in a bull trend. 2023 is a bull trend. If you think otherwise, you're an idiot. All right, that's Shiba. Keep an eye on the lows. Like if you're following this along, you'd want to do it on a lower time frame because you want to be reacting as quickly as possible, right? But just keep in mind the overall trend lines that are happening, and also the support and resistances, because they're going to serve you the best with the price. So if you break that trend line to the downside, then you know you don't want to be expecting higher prices. Obviously, it's changed direction. So this is a support line we're dealing with in Shiba right now, like that, right? And we hope, you know, if you're long on Shiba, we hope that it respects that trend and it carries us up into, you know, testing the top of the range, or, you know, the previous highs at least, you know. And a lot of this depends on Bitcoin too. Bitcoin is the green light that the market needs to be able to rally, or at least Bitcoin holding ground in this area. So like if we get Bitcoin to sort of like hang 10 and just you know, maintain these levels, just like kind of like what it did back here, then that gives like a green light to alts as well, like I said earlier in the video, in the stream. So right now, yeah, like obviously it takes time to play out. Like we need time to see it come to fruition. But yeah, that's the trend line that we're dealing with on Shiba. Just be cautious because look, we have some kind of rising wedge situation as well. And that is suggestive of a breakdown. You know, when you see a rising wedge, not all the time, but a lot of the times you get the support side of a rising wedge break down, right? You lose it. But maybe that's just the proper test of the bottom of this channel, right? Before the best, like some of the best trades are when you have a big channel like this, right? And you see evidence of when price comes back down to test the bottom of the channel. And then when you see evidence of it being supported, that's where you get long, like this, like here, right? That's where you get long. That's when you look for your entries. Because if that becomes evident, then this is likely to happen. Like where you get at least a revisit to the midpoint, if not better. So that's how I see these channels, right? Trading a channel. But yeah, that's a deep dive into Shiba at the moment on the smaller time frame in the here and now. But yeah, like best things you can do, keep an eye on trend lines. First and foremost, lines of support and resistance. Then your trend lines. And then your chart patterns. So things like, give you an example, rising and falling wedges. Etc. 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 Okay. So that's kind of like my list of priorities. You want to pay attention to lines of support and resistance, which end up being like order blocks, you know, swing failure patterns, that kind of thing. That all falls under lines of support and resistance. Trend lines are the diagonal fellas that pick out the pivots, because those can behave or act as support and resistance as well. But yeah, so they're kind of tied in along with support and resistance for lines, your horizontal price lines, right? So yeah, support, resistance, price lines, and then you've got pivot trend lines, which is sort of your structure, your market structure, and then you've got patterns, which are like, you know, everyone's famous favorite pattern that they look for. Chart patterns, that's like a third priority that you look for. And then, you know, after that, you can look at your indicators like your oscillators. So like, you know, it's good to keep an eye on MACD and RSI and just see what they're saying. But they only hold a piece of the puzzle. That, you know, just because you see oversold on RSI doesn't mean that you just jump in with all of your money. You need to be paying attention to these first. These are just like a backup, like confirmation, help you get in, you know, look for confluence kind of thing. So it's kind of like order of operations for me, you know, what to look at, what's important. So yeah, oscillators, I'll just say oscillators and other indicators. So MACD, RSI, Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands. It's supposed to be a double L. Yeah. There you go. That's my sort of take on what's important when you're doing analysis. High priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority. Now, some people have a school of thought that this trumps all of it, and that is fundamental analysis, which is more so a, to me, that's more of like an investment tool. Like if you're looking at fundamentals, like fundamentally speaking, why am I getting into Shiba? You know, that's fundamental. And then you've got news or like event driven data. Yeah. Sentiment. That's another factor, right? So these guys do, yeah, we know, we've seen lots of evidence of like fundamentals and news and event driven like situations, you know, causing price action. But you know, as me, I am a technical, I like to look at the technical analysis, right? Make that. Color. What's a nice, like, I don't know, what about like a pink? Technical analysis is my jam. Fundamentals are still good. You know, you hear me talking about news and data-driven events, like, you know, CPI. I do streams about CPI, so yeah. So we got news, data, / event-driven sentiment. Events kind of tie in with news, but not always. Like an event, okay, Bitcoin's halving. That is an event. I see that as an event. News, I see as your black swan type shit, like SBF, FTX collapse. That was a news-based sentiment driver. Like it drove sentiment down, right? So that's your news. Data-driven. That's CPI, funds rate. You know? That's the three that I see there that are outside of like fundamental and technical. Fundamental is like the white paper. How does the thing function? You know, events, news and events are driven off and can contribute to its fundamentals as well. But yeah, that's the way to see it. Technical analysis is purely charts. Like it doesn't ignore these two other paradigms, but it's mainly looking at, you know, support, resistance, trend lines, oscillators and indicators and patterns on the chart, right? So you can technically, yeah, you can do that without the other two. You know, you can do that and make money. Also, you can look at this and forget about technical analysis and just focus on like trends, news, data, get in on good news, get in like, you know, short bad news, and then purely trade off that without worrying about technicals. Like it's, or you can do what is reasonable and just have an idea or an understanding of all of it. You know, why not have a complete picture? Because when these all line up, when you have all your ducks lined up in a row, that's when you know, okay, there's very strong, you know, evidence of up, or there's very strong evidence of down. You know what I mean? Like if you can get confluence between all of these paradigms, then bingo. Yeah. All right, that's enough of that. What's up, D Johnny? You're not late, dude. You arrived precisely when you meant to. So it's all good. And the cool thing is, these streams get uploaded. I don't delete them, so if you want to watch it back, if you think you missed anything, then yeah, by all means, watch the replay. They will be in the live list. So you have to go through my live streams, not my videos, because there's only going to be one video in there from like 2 years ago, so don't worry about that one. Look through my lives on my channel and you'll see all of my previous streams that I have up there, if you're wanting to catch. And by the way, I date my stream titles, because if you want to find a specific time on the chart to see what I said about something, you can easily go back and find that date and that exact stream if I streamed on that day. So yeah, it's a good way to sort of go back. I actually went back the other day and looked at, I wanted to know what the hell I was saying when Bitcoin pulled in its yearly low down here. Like, what was I talking about? Go back and watch it. What was I talking about? Wait, is this right? No, wait, this isn't the daily. I'm assuming this is the daily. 1 second. So on the daily, yeah, back here. Okay, there's the FTX collapse. What was I saying right here? I did stream, and I was like, yeah, just you can see for yourself what I was saying. I'm pretty sure one point that I did say, for those interested, is that we were looking and we knew that we had this low from days prior, right? We had this low. Make that bright so you can see it. And so that was a line in the sand. Days later, we come back down to that level and we punch below it and make a new low, but it's a wick. It's just a wick, guys. Now, to me, that screams swing, or what's called a swing failure pattern. So look up what the hell swing failure is and learn all about it, because it happens a lot. Swing failure. It's when you get a line of support that gets broken, but then it gets sucked right back up on top. So it's like, and it happens on the flip side too, when you have resistance. If you have resistance, and we've had it recently with 25K, right? You get price punch up just above it to get people excited before bang, huge collapse the other direction. So it's kind of like a liquidity trap, it's a trap. It's a bull trap, it's a bear trap, these swing failure patterns. So you got to be careful of them. And they don't just happen on the extreme lows and highs. They can happen on small time frames and in like shorter price action. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Let's go down to the hourly chart just quickly. Delete these new squiggles that I've made. Whoa, what happened there? Deleted the candles. Delete. Okay, there we go. What the hell? What the hell happened there? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of gas now, guys. I'm gonna wrap this stream up. We're down on the hourly. Let's get rid of all this crap. It's doing it again. Let me refresh my Bitcoin chart. That might fix it. It's choking a bit, isn't it? It's spazzing right out. Okay, I'm gonna close these windows. Let's start fresh. What have I got hiding behind here? Just my wallpaper. All right, 1 sec. I'm just gonna restart Chrome or that window. Be careful doing this because I got the stream living on the other Chrome. Okay. think we're good. Now let's see if I can delete drawings without it deleting the candles. Should be okay. Let's do it carefully. So yeah, the swing failure pattern, there's been one very recently, and let's have a look at it, and then I'll wrap the stream up. So, okay, our August high from last year is the yellow line, of course. See what price did? It nibbled just above it to get people excited, and then bang, collapse to the bottom side. Awesome short opportunity. If you expect swing failure, it can be very profitable if you trade it. I mean, look at the move. It went from all the way down there, or sorry, all the way up there, all the way down here. 7.5% ain't no joke for Bitcoin. That's a big move in 8 hours, right? Did we have another swing failure recently? Yes, look, 25k. So that was more of like a price level swing failure in a way. You know, we hit 20k, 25k, which got just above it, but then, you know, huge correction off the back of it. So those are your swing failure examples. All right, I'm out of juice. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in once again, and I will catch you on the next stream. So yeah, take care with your trades, sleep well, have a good day wherever you may be, and I'll see you probably maybe tomorrow, if not Tuesday, because long weekend. All right, bye.